In the desert, we see him once again struggling to survive. He's running from a giant sand centipede, the beast roaring in rage as it charges toward him, doing everything it can to catch him. We are shown the hospital tent where Hunter Sung Jinwoo had just been, and the time is already 5:00 in the morning. We are shown the gaping mouth of a massive sand centipede, its fangs as sharp as finely sharpened swords. Hunter Sung Jinwoo's face was twisted with fear, but even so the fear he felt now was nothing compared to what he had endured inside the double dungeon. A notification suddenly popped up announcing that the penalty was complete. Finally, Hunter Sung Jinwoo returned to his room. Along with him, his chamber had transported not only himself, but also a small amount of sand from the desert. A window appeared in front of him stating that he had completed the penalty task. It was clear from Hunter Sung Jinwoo's face that he was utterly exhausted after all he had been running from the massive sand centipedes for 4 long hours. Another notification appeared in front of him informing him that he had received a reward for completing the penalty mission. However, he was far too exhausted to accept it right away and needed some time to recover. A nurse entered his room and found Hunter Sung Jinwoo lying unconscious on the floor. Confused and alarmed by the scene, she immediately called for help. At the hospital, Hunter Sung Jinwoo became a topic of conversation among the nurses. They talked about how almost immediately after waking up he began running. Despite being a hunter, their concern for his health didn't fade. Just because he was awake didn't mean he should push himself that hard. Yet every day he ran laps around the hospital building. It was also that what happened on the first day related to the penalty task would never happen again. From then on, he made sure to fulfill the daily task on time. During those 4 days, Jinwoo came to realize a few important things. As he paused to catch his breath, it became clear to him that the mysterious instructions, this so-called pre-evolutionary system, were not a hallucination. As it turned out, he had already accomplished all 4 goals. The pop-up appeared before him, visible only to him. For completing the daily task, he was granted 3 rewards. The first reward was recovery. This reward restored his spent strength and relieved the fatigue weighing down his body. The next rewards were characterization points and a box of unknowns. Characterization points allowed him to increase his base parameters, enhancing his strength, agility, and other core abilities. He could now monitor his parameters, skills, items, and inventory in detail. It was all becoming more and more like a game. After accomplishing his last goal and running 10 kilometers, Jinwoo decided to sit down and rest. As he looked over his status screen, he couldn't help but feel a sense of happiness knowing that he could now increase and improve his skills. So toward evening, he went to the reception desk to ask for permission to leave. The girl sitting behind the administrative counter told him that of course he could leave, but only for a short while. Somewhere near Hapjeong Station, our hero stood in front of the subway entrance ready to take his next step forward. It turned out that when he completed the daily quest and received the reward box, he had obtained some kind of key. In reality, this key was the entrance key to an E-rank dungeon. On the face of Hunter Sung Jinwoo, there was a clear mix of anxiety and impatience, an expression that reflected the uncertainty of what might be waiting for him inside. Before enter dungeon, he wondered if all these quests, status windows, and rewards were the result of a double awakening. There he stood for a moment, shaking the key in his hand as he thought. If the weakest Hunter claimed to have received a double awakening and a personal dungeon, others would surely laugh. Still, he decided to head down into the subway and open the dungeon. A blue aura appeared out of thin air as he walked into it. The moment our hero stepped through, a notification appeared before him stating that he had entered the crazy dungeon. The gate began to sparkle, and to his shock, it suddenly transformed into a solid wall. He quickly realized he was now completely sealed inside. Hunter Sung Jinwoo tried to walk back through the barrier, but it was completely blocked. Yet to his surprise, an average girl walking up the stairs to leave the subway passed through the barrier, effortlessly, completely unaware of its existence. As it turned out, none of the people around could see the dungeon, only Hunter Sung Jinwoo could. He tried his best to find any gap or weakness in the barrier to escape, but no matter how hard he searched, he couldn't find a single loophole. He then received a notification stating that he couldn't leave the dungeon unless he either killed the boss or used the crystal of return. By the look on his face, it was clear he was at a loss, realizing he would have to clear the entire dungeon alone. As he stared into the deep looming darkness ahead, the weight of that challenge settled heavily on his shoulders. He could feel the ominous magical power radiating from the creature. Fear gripped Hunter Sung Jinwoo as he realized once again the grave mistake he had made by coming here alone.